unfortunately, 10 to 30 million children and young people are injured globally, and 75% of that comes from our fatal injuries that come from global playgrounds, which increases like costs for healthcare and can also lead to big fines for the owners if they have not maintained properly their asset. And they cannot do that usually because they're struggling to do it because they don't have like legally compliant tools or they don't have enough resources. So this creates like unsafe environments for children and young people to play and do sports in. This is mostly because there is no asset management and bad maintenance. So we created a platform that's specific of tailored tool just for that.
I see you all here for Million Cups. If you're here for something else, you're in the wrong place. It's 9 o'clock on Wednesday morning, so it's time to check in. You can point your phone at that or at the piece of paper that's lying on the table there, and you can check in to show you we're at 1 million cups. If you do that on 3 occasions, you'll get a free pen. If you do that on 6 occasions, you'll get a free notebook. So, hey, you can't beat swag. Check in and win your chance to win free prizes. All right. We are 1 million cups Albuquerque, and this is our mission. Oh, wow, can you move that? Our mission is to lower the barrier of access to education, resources, and connection for new and aspiring entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship is a difficult and sometimes lonely journey, and we are here to take away the loneliness and to help you identify your unknown unknowns, things you don't know and you don't know you don't know. There's a lot of talent in this room and in this community, and you're only 1 or 2 connections away from getting what you need as an entrepreneur. Okay, and how do we do that? We work toward that mission through assistance from the Kauffman Foundation, which has set up a program to train organizers to create instances of 1 million cups, in 1 million cups chapters, as it were, all across the country. And every one of those communities has unique strengths and weaknesses, but they give us a consistent program for entrepreneurs, and they tell us how to train the presenters to give the 1 million cups presentation. So we are the only folks in New Mexico, but there were a bunch of other chapters in the Southwest. I've been to some of these. If you're on the road and it's Wednesday morning at 9 a.m., try stopping in. You'll see a familiar program. If you can't get enough 1 million cups, you can get on Zoom at 7 in the morning and go in New York. Have a cup of coffee, get here at 9, and you'll be good. You can do it twice in a day if you want. Okay, what are our key pillars? How do we make this whole thing work? These are presentations. They're not pitches. I'm not going to say that pitches are misleading exactly, but they highlight important things that that particular audience wants to hear, like how your company has all the talent it needs. It has an unassailable intellectual property moat, and it has bright prospects ahead of it if only they would inject capital. That's not really true of most companies at that stage, but that's the presentation that they make. If you're a struggling entrepreneur, what you really need to do is stand in front of a community that understands what you're going through and ask for help with the challenges that you currently have, and you'll get that help. So those are the presentations rather than the pitches. Those are authentic connections. So if somebody comes up to you and says, you know, a year ago, I was facing exactly what you're facing, and here's what I did about it, that's what we want to have happen here, not a speed dating thing where we all just pass out business cards. So it's run for the community, by the community. The organizers are not financially compensated, but I will speak for my own part. We receive rich rewards from our participation in this process, and it's actually helped my business personally. So I certainly recommend participation. We're radically and intentionally inclusive. All kinds of people, all kinds of businesses. You could have a brick and mortar shop that's a mom and pop operation. You could have a whiteboard company that maybe just got a little bit of funding with a comma in it, or you could be a tentpole company that honors us by their presence and doesn't need all that much from us, but is here to teach us things. Any one of those kind of companies is welcome, and everything in between. So don't be shy about helping other people out or presenting. So that's more of our mission statement. You're not alone in this community. You should reach out. And as part of this community, try to be friendly and helpful and educational. And if somebody says something that you have a strong disagreement with, you could either frame it in polite terms or keep it to yourself. There are times when you should take advantage of the opportunity to remain silent. Okay, and however, applying to present is not one of those opportunities. Really, this is your opportunity to speak out, to reach out to the community. Very easy to apply to present. Just go to one of the organizers and say, can you help me through your terrible website? And we will. So what we will do is coach you on how to give a presentation that's not the usual pitch, that exposes your challenges and vulnerabilities and ends with a community ask. This is our team. I'm Paul Sutter. Lisa Atkins is right here. Eric Renz Whitmore may be lurking online. Adam is online, I guess, today. Sonia's online, and Keiko and Oscar, I guess they're documenting people's families right now, and they're not here right now. But so it's the two of us, but we can prop you up, folks. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Fat Pipe, for 8 years. This has been our home. Jason Collin Photography, always making us look good. Great headshots too, by the way. And if you're trying to sell a ranch, you know, that aerial drone footage is just in. Okay, More Than Organized. Oh, hey. Organizing your stuff, your mind, and providing us with creamer. Foundation for Sustainable Living, providing coffee. Noventum Custom Software, great software and donuts. And Vive Solutions when they're here. Today's not one of those days. Tea and fruit for those trying to get off the sugar and caffeine thing. Okay, thanks for joining us. And I'm going to hand it over to Lisa because she's the only other organizer.
So this is Bruno Stojakovic. Yeah, he's one of the visiting international entrepreneurs with the Global Ties program. And so they're here for a couple more weeks, and we've encouraged a couple of them to apply to give presentations here at 1 Million Cups. So Bruno is this week, and I think one of you guys is Matthew. Matthew, I haven't met him in person, but he's next week. So we appreciate you letting us fast track you, and we're excited to hear your story.
Thank you very much.
Let me bring up your slide deck. Get started.
Thank you, guys. I'm very glad to be here.
Bruno, you can use this
So,
advance.
My name is Bruno. I'm from Croatia. And as Lisa mentioned, I'm here along with Matthew, who is from Poland. We're here on White Tilly program by US Department of State that helps young European entrepreneurs understand better American market and try to bring their know-how from Europe and adapt their companies and their products to similar industries in US. And so enforce our transatlantic cooperation. So this is my company. It's called PlaySafety Systems, and it's an equipment management platform that is focused on making outdoor sports equipment and children's playgrounds safer. So how it all started. So my first passion actually for this came since I was a very young kid. I was into climbing, and I was into BMX, skate parks, and all that stuff, outdoor sports all the way. And that's how I first actually started collaborating with US. So we're starting importing BMX parts bikes from US and selling them in Croatia, building custom bikes. And then I was helping also my father, who started a company in urban development that was focused on creating and designing playgrounds and outdoor sports equipment. But to fast track forward, so as I got older, I of course wanted to study, so I went on to Austria in Vienna. I graduated in international business, and that was in 2014 to 2017 is when I graduated. Then started my first serious job in Prague and Berlin at Hewlett-Packard Enterprise in IT, where I was working in IT. I was there for quite some time working with big corporations when I decided to move into more like startup world. So I started working remotely, and my first experience at IT company Veeam Software that was growing very fast. It was a very fast startup. It's an American company, and this is where I got more insight into the modern startup business, how to scale a business, how to work with international clients. So, and then last year I went on and co-founded PlaySafety Systems. That was first successful startup experience. So we got first VC investment. We started to expand our team. We launched the product and got our first users. And the idea came to branching off the family business. So as I was like along my journey, I was helping my father all the time in the family business, and he was telling me a lot about the problems of maintenance of the playgrounds and equipment that he was supplying to different customers. So as I was working IT, we came to idea, why not build a software around it that could automatize that, and also create like some sort of reporting system that would keep the owners compliant with the latest safety standards. So this is what technology gives. It gives the online suite of digital tools that are needed for faster and more compliant maintenance that saves cost and prevents interest. Because unfortunately, 10 to 30 million children and young people are injured globally, and 75% of that comes from are fatal injuries that come from global playgrounds, which increases like costs for healthcare and can also lead to big fines for the owners if they have not maintained properly their asset. And they cannot do that usually because they're starting to do it because they don't have like legally compliant tools or they don't have enough resources. So this creates like unsafe environments for children and young people to play and do sports in. This is mostly because there is no asset management and bad maintenance. So we created a platform that is specific tailored tool just for that. And this is our team. This is the market we are aiming at. These are our most common customers come from public sector, education, or hospitality industry. So essentially all the organizations that are owners of such objects and assets. So like cities, municipalities, schools, kindergartens, and hotels or resorts. People use like some sort of alternative solutions for now, but we try really to offer them a competitive advantage with our technology that can cover all the issues in each segment they're struggling with. And so far, we gained some traction in Croatia, and in Europe, and now we are trying to also understand the American market better during their program and partner with local community here in Albuquerque. So like next week, we have also a meeting with director of Bernalillo County and Albuquerque Parks and Recs. So far, we launched the commercial version, and we have around these customers who who trusted us with over 200 assets managed that have around 5 million euros in assets under management value. Our challenges are right now we are trying to pivot. We are pivoting to find the right pricing model. So we obviously also want to bring this to developing economies and communities, and we don't want to charge for this. We have also, but at the same time, we have to focus on revenue and new seed investment round, and so to kind of like finance the whole thing. So those are like sort of challenges until now. We have now one partnership with playground manufacturer from it's working in Africa, and right there they don't have they don't have even internet in some places to go with the tablet and try to do the checkup. So we are also developing like offline mode tool for them, and yeah, that's that's about it. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. I wasn't too boring.
And Bruno and I met for his first coaching session. I got his pitch deck, right? And so I explained to Bruno how we wanted to get to know him and hear about his story. So you did a great job.
Thank you.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
You have a question?
Bruno Breinsteiner from Custom Software. Great job. I can't imagine doing this in a language other than my native tongue, so you did great. The one thing that really caught my eye with this is, as someone that's dealt with different governments or tried to for procurement processes, it seems like going through that is very difficult. Getting a contract, becoming an authorized vendor, doing the competitive bidding, all of that. And are you able to like leverage your family's experience to help you, or are you having to learn that for all of the different governments that you're dealing with?
Thank you for the question. Yeah. Well, I had to kind of, family experience did help, but I had to kind of do it on my own a lot. But that's why, we are, our business model and our whole pricing model is essentially as a service base. So it offers like really low OpEx expenses.
So you're able to get below the competitive bidding threshold a lot of times.
Yeah, and essentially doesn't need to go through, we make it really easy for the users to use the platform and not have to pay a lot.
Yeah.
And they can kind of scale as they add. Our pricing is per object. So,
Got it.
so as they scale, as they want to manage more playgrounds and equipment, they can just add that.
And they're heavily invested at that point and
Yeah.
less likely to change. Yeah.
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 But we want to give them, like complete tool.
Yep.
And so they don't have to use different programs like Excel sheets or ERP systems. So they have all in one place.
Yep.
And as they scale, the price actually lowers.
Per unit.
So exactly. So it's a kind of win-win.
Cool.
And it's easy to get it.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you for the question.
There's someone online who wanted to see this slide and let her review it. Oh, no. She has a question. You can go ahead.
Okay. Hey, nice to meet you.
Oh, hi.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you, you're
What's your
looking.
name?
Oh, sorry. Yes, Jeff Hall. I work with the Los Alamos National Lab in New Mexico. Yeah, help small businesses. So I was going to ask if you're considering seed funding or you're focused on revenue. Let's say you had as much capital as you needed.
Yeah.
What would you use it?
Well, we definitely invest a lot into product development.
Okay.
For the product development and operational costs, and then marketing.
So where would you take the technology? Because it's pretty good right now. If you have customers purchasing it.
Yeah, I mean, we have like first users that are on board, and they're like lean. I would call them more lean customers because they're still trying to adapt the product and through their feedback.
Okay.
And there's always room for improvement. We don't have a mobile app yet, so I would focus on that. But also adding some technologies like text, speech to text recognition, or some like advanced location targeting for precise injury logging. That's what we are also trying to do right now. So we're trying to create like public directory where people can like just scan a QR code that we supply the owner with, and can put on the playground, and then people can log in injuries, or if they see some formalities, they can just send them information real quick, and then the maintenance crew can intervene really quickly. So to prevent any kind of accidents or non-compliance. So yeah, and like the text to voice to speech recognition, or speech to text is very easy, because as the people are doing maintenance checkups, they can just like say what's the issue that they have found, and then it automatically translates and runs down the issue, comes back to the cloud, and then converts into like on issue tracking module. It converts into like sort of
Like a
I
ticket.
don't know. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ticket. Part of, yeah. Sorry, my English is.
Okay, I know.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that you're trying to follow up with your customers to really get their feedback. Where you're trying to take that next step. I would suggest like also following up with like insurance providers to see like what they're interested in preventing as far as like public safety. So
Yeah, that's what we're thinking as well, and maybe also branching off to other types of equipment. I don't know, maybe there'll be also a need for specific maintenance in I don't know, fire industry, laboratories.
sure.
The platform can just be adapted for that specific niche and industry, but use the same
Right.
to everywhere where there's some sort of equipment used on a daily basis, injuries can happen. So right maintenance prevents that.
Sure.
It prevents like cause.
Yeah, disease too.
Exactly.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for the question.
Sue, did you have any comments or questions? based
I
on what
do.
you had?
And thanks for putting this slide back up. My comment would be, you needed to spend more time on this slide because it really shows how you differentiate yourself from the competition. I would also add to this slide at the bottom, pricing. If you know your competitors' pricing and where you are, especially obviously if you're cheaper, but if you're more value for the money. And the other comment that I made was, I saw that you were working with Albuquerque Parks and Rec. That would be a great inroad to other cities here in New Mexico. And if you could get some testimonials regarding how it's working for them.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get that. So we're just in the beginning phase. Next week, we're gonna have another meeting and go around. We're gonna view a few of their playgrounds and parks and see. They're gonna show me how they maintain them so far, what are they using to organize themselves, and then yeah, we're gonna take some pictures and hopefully they'll like our technology and give us a testimonial.
Thank you. Great.
Thank you for the questions.
So I want to know, you've been here for 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what has been your biggest takeaway so far through this Global Ties program? And what do you anticipate anything that's left in the last week and a half that you you want to get out of this program? Because it's only a 4 or 5 week program. So
Yeah.
I'm just curious, like so far,
Yeah.
what has been the biggest takeaway and what's something you're still looking for?
Well, the biggest takeaway was definitely to understand how this is done here and how also American culture is in this way. I mean, I noticed that compared to Europe, Americans, they really and they're really, you guys are really focused on your communities, which is really nice. And you support each other, and it's important for you that everybody kind of works together and that everybody's really friendly. That's a big plus. And I also understood how the legal framework works here for this specific type of products and niche. And I also understood what are the main pain points here. Back in Europe, it's the resources. So people have not enough staff to perform the maintenance and here it's mostly I don't know, people don't have the right tool, so they don't have they're using the counties, they're using various different ERP systems. So this is everything is in one place for them, specifically Sorry if I. took
No,
a
no,
lot.
that's exactly. So what I heard you say is that the community, you've taken that community as future and then you take that aspect.
Yeah.
And what we do for our parks and recs is great. And then there's a little bit more staff and economic money that's in ours. But and then the financial and legal structure is something that you've taken away. What else is something that you're looking for the last week and a half? If there's anything else that you've learned, what would that be?
Well, I would definitely like to connect more with people who are like responsible for maintaining playgrounds and sports equipment to, I don't know, try to engage more and get our product team more feedback to customize the product just for this US.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, thank you, Bruno. Great presentation.
No, thank you
Yes.
very much.
Any other questions? Come on up.
Very good to see you again. Jeff Bartle from the CNM community and Activate NM. So I'm thinking about your sales channels a little bit, and a recommendation I have for you would be to connect with the people that are sales reps for playground equipment and also make them sales reps for your product, your software in addition to that. I know that we have some reps here. Bob Clark that runs the Ninja Gym, the US Ninja Association. He also is a sales rep for playground equipment.
Okay,
So, I think it'd be a good
sure,
chat.
sure.
He said that right now there's a boom in playground equipment because I guess during COVID, everybody wanted to go outside.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So-
in Europe, it's the same.
Yeah, so I'll make an introduction for you and just see how it goes. I think it'd be an interesting channel for them to dual rep the equipment and the maintenance piece.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks.
No problem.
It's awesome. Anybody else? All right, have you got to try our New Mexican food?
Of course, yeah.
Red
I
or
really-
green? Favorite?
Christmas.
Oh, good. Can you name a restaurant in town that you have enjoyed eating at?
Well, we were here, first time we were here at Range. However, the one I really liked was, I forgot the name, but maybe Matthew knows, it was in Santa Fe. New Mexican restaurant in Santa Fe.
A lot of good ones up there.
And there was one in the downtown, in the old Plaza Vieja. Across the church. Can't remember how it's called, but that was like.
Church Street.
What's it?
Church Street Cafe?
Church Street Cafe? They have good margarita.
Yeah. Margaritas are good. And palomas.
Awesome. And so I think we know what the one thing is this community can do for you in the next week and a half, right? And that's make some introductions to people in your industry,
Yeah.
sounds like. Am I right? Is there anything else?
Well, any sort of feedback you guys give me, like, even if it's like we don't like your haircut, I really appreciate it very much.
You have a great haircut, Bruno. I don't think you need to worry about that. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
We
you, Lisa.
appreciate your time.
Thank you. And once again, I'm really grateful.
Might have time for a couple newbie introductions. Are there anybody in the audience who's never been here before? Come on up. Come on up and introduce yourself. Tell us how you heard about 1 Million Cups. If there's anybody, I don't think there's anybody online that's new, so we'll do this one.
Hi, my name is David Arredondo. I'm here just to listen, really. I'm looking for work. I graduated last year in May with a PhD in nanoscience engineering and a master's in computer science. And so for the last year or so, I've been working for a blockchain startup and just been kind of sitting in my house by myself, And so I just wanted to get out and maybe look for something, do a little networking, look for a job that's maybe a little more social. I was thinking about solutions consulting or things like that. Or maybe I'll just continue to do software engineering. So I don't know, I just want to meet people, see what the software needs of the community are.
Awesome. We're so glad you came out.
Thank you.
Cool. And Lisa, Ken Jackson is new.
Ken.
Hi, how are you? Ken Jackson. I am the assistant to the Albuquerque Small Business Office Liaison Carry Vendor. And we are working together, enjoy working with her, and we're here to assist and help anyone that can utilize our services through the city. We do have some more functions coming up. I believe we've got 2 more. They were posted in our last meeting. And if you'd like information on setting up a booth at our next resource fairs, please let us know. And we're here to help out.
Thank you.
You
Thanks,
are
Ken.
welcome.
To the software engineer, suggest he contact STEM Boomerang and a couple bioscience companies that are hiring. We can help you make those connections if you don't already know.
Oh, yeah.
right.
Long live blockchain.
Aw. Paul, would you like to
Sure.
take us out this morning?
There are some other rumblings in the audience. So we sometimes do a job segment. So I could kick that off by saying we're still looking for a CEO for Equiseek. The community's been extremely helpful. We've had some wonderful discussions and met some great people. So I'm optimistic we're going to bring that to a close. But Brian is also looking for employees.
Hi. So as I've introduced myself 3 times, I'm
Get on
Brian.
camera,
Oh,
Brian.
I'm Brian with Noventum, and we are hiring an in-person administrative assistant / office coordinator. So if you know anybody that would like to get into software, let me know. More of the business end, project management light, task management, bringing donuts to 1 million cups. So let me know if you know anybody.
And good morning again, Barbara Dawson with Purple Mulch. There's a man in town who's a very, very successful printing business. He does everything by himself. And he's extremely, extremely busy. So if you know of anybody who would like to go to work with equipment to help him, produce signs like the teen years sign, produce business cards, produce like all kinds of stuff, he really needs somebody to help him. So his name is Michael Mezejewski. He owns Digital Creations out of Rio Rancho, and he desperately needs a second set of hands. Oh, good. Okay.
If you are looking for employees or anything, I'll mention that our next Startup Fiesta is on May 25th. Website just went up yesterday. This time there is going to be a prize, probably $1,000 cash plus some services and stuff like that. And so it'll be 6 1-minute pitches, fast pitches, and feedback plus showcase. So the application is open now. If you're interested in applying, it is for very early stage companies to apply, but also we want everybody there. And it's a great time to network and look for employees or look for jobs. May 25th at Electric Playhouse. That's a client you should look for.
I've actually been there,
Okay.
so I will.
Shout out to Startup Fiesta here. Yeah, shout out to Startup Fiesta. Yes.
I'm Rosemary Prinz and I'm an artist. And I wanted to invite you to 3 events that are happening the first weekend in May. So on Friday, May the 5th, I have a solo show opening at Little Bird de Papel on Mountain Road. And the invitations are on the table here. Please come. There's nothing worse than being an artist and sitting in a gallery where nobody's there. And the event is from 4 to 7 p.m. So all the information is on the invitation. Following day at the same location, I'm going to be demonstrating altered books. And if you don't know what an altered book is, come and find out. And that will be at Little Bird de Papel from 1 to 3 in the afternoon. And then the following day, Sunday, the opening, by the way, is in conjunction with Albuquerque Art Walk. And then on Sunday, that's what are we looking at? May the 7th. I will have an open studio at 122 Grenoir, and I have my cards here with the address. And that's in conjunction with Nob Hill Art Stroll. Oh no, it's Nob Hill Stroll. And that will be from 11 until 4. So come to all of them, or if you can't, please come to one. And I'll leave my cards right here.
Hello, everyone. My name is Katie Olk. I'm with K&K Skin Products. We are looking for a hunter. We are entering into the clinical setting and we are now looking for a sales rep. So we want the sales rep to go in and actually look for these accounts, working with estheticians, dermatologists, and med spas. We are looking to be in their back bar as well as their retail. We are an Albuquerque-based company with a patent pending for cosmetic use for an ingredient for our BioBarex, exclusively to K&K. We've got science plus nature, and our products are gender friendly. So we are made for all skin types, and we'd love to help with your skincare needs. But as of right now, I'm looking for a hunter. Thank you.
Well, that's busy. As you can see, there's a lot going on in the community. And wow, how do you wrap this up? Okay, in the past week, there was a big event by not exactly a startup called SpaceX. And they tried a launch configuration that they never tried before. They were not afraid to fail fast and fail forward, and 4 minutes into the flight, they had some polite language for what happened, like rapid, unplanned disassembly. But okay, it blew up, right? But it flew for 4 minutes, guys. There was nobody on board, nobody hurt. That's what you should do. Fail fast, fail forward, be bold, and don't apologize. I'll see you next week. Lift up entrepreneurship.